Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. I hope so. I'm live now. Can you just confirm if I'm live and I'm audible to you or not? Okay, it's still not live over here. Just wait a minute. Good evening, guys. Good evening, guys. I hope so. I'm live now. There was some issue with the internet previously. Okay, I'm live. Fine. Great. So can you just confirm if I'm audible to you and if my screen is visible to you or not? My screen is blur. Okay, I haven't shared my screen yet. Just wait a minute. Let me share my screen. I haven't shared anything right now. Just have patience, guys. Just a minute. Okay, yeah. Now my screen would be visible to you. Yeah, screen clear, sir. Okay, great. But a blur screen, yeah, I haven't shared any screen at that point. That's why there was a blur screen. Now it's fine. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, great. So now, welcome back everyone to the last day of this boot camp. We are on the fifth day and the last day. And till now, we have completed everything related to authentication. We have went till JWT. We did not went in cookies and all, but we completed the token-based authentication. That was the more important part for me. And then what are we going to cover today is authorization. So this will be whole of a theoretical concept. We'll understand what all possible like assets we have in authorization. We'll understand that, and most probably we'll wrap it up as soon as possible. Then we'll move forward with other some important information that I have to pass through to you and related to assignments and other things. So we'll complete that up. Okay. So yeah, that's what we have to do today. And again, as I shared the attendance form in between 7:30 and 7:45, today also we will be doing that. Okay. Yes, Pooja, what is your doubt, Pooja? Yes, what is your doubt, Pooja? You can post your doubt over here. Okay. First, I have to move forward now. Yeah, in between, if you find like if you encounter any problem with my audio or something, you can just add it in the chat. Okay. That's what I want from your side. And yeah, just give me a moment and we will move forward with the session. Yes, hello mini AI creation. How are you doing? Yes, Pooja, you can post it out. Okay, I will wait for you later. Let's get into the concept. So authorization. Okay, so yeah, Shutosh. Okay, what is the task for getting the certificate? What is the task? I will explain you what is the task. Okay, do not worry. Yeah. So authentication is done. So authentication part was like to know who the user is. Okay, know your customer, know your user. That was the authentication part. Now we have authorization. So authorization deals with level of access that you give to the user. So different type of users will have different type of access. So according to the user levels, so you would be admin, so you will have larger access. you would be simple user. In that case, you will have some restricted access. So authorization now deals with all type of SS related work. So in this case, we will discuss about what all type of SS models we have. So obviously, this is going to be theoretical. So if anyone gets bored, so I cannot help it help with you. So like just sit quietly, enjoy it up. We do not have any practical today. Okay, so just theoretical concept that will get completed by 7:30 at max 7:45. Okay, so I missed day one and day two, but I attended balance days. Great, Pooja, no problem with that. I think so. Okay, you have missed 2 days, so we have to see that. Okay, okay. So Hazaruki, yeah, Ashutosh, you can leave this out. Okay, we do not actually want this session. What happens if you authenticate but don't authorize user? See, it's not a problem. Most of the platforms has only authentication part, not authorization part. That's why we do not exclusively discuss this part. Why? Because only those applications where you have admin level access, user level access separated, only over that places we have authorization part. Like let's take an example. We have AWS, right? So in AWS we have roles and responsibilities. So IAM roles we have. So in each of IAM roles you have different level of access. So in that case we have authorization also along with authentication. But if I talk about any normal application, let's suppose we can take an example of any like AI generation platform. Okay, let's suppose a platform where you can generate images by giving it a prompt. Over there you exactly do not need any authorization. Why? Because it's a simple one end platform where you will be entering your input in the form of prompt, and you will get the output. Over there we do not have to discuss anything such that level of access that some user will have like uh, admin level, some user should have user level. We do not need to discuss that. So in very rare and complex application only we are going to implement this authorization, but authentication will be there in every place possible. Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, so let's get into that. So now what authorization exactly is, we already discussed this, but we will be discussing that again. Okay, so in this case we are going to understand different level of ss. So you would have already completed that ss control models kind of thing. Okay, role based and other things. So, but we will be discussing that again. Okay. How do you implement role-based authorization in React and Node? See, in case of role-based authorization, obviously, when you create a user, okay, in that case, you should have also one field known as like level or else type of user. So you can categorize your user between two parts. Let's suppose I'm taking a very normal and simplified example where you have two kinds of user. Like one is user itself, one is admin. Okay. So in many platforms, you have one as admin, one as normal user. So over there, you can have a field as level of access or something known as that, something kind of that. Okay. And based upon that, you have to render two different kind of UIs and two different kind of things for the user. Okay. Mm. Fine. So normally we have three kinds like admin, user, and guest. But yeah, so that's according to whatever you have, according to the role that you have for that particular user, we will be rendering the site. Okay. So if the user has a role of user only, in that case, we will give some different kind of outputs. If my user has a role of admin, then he will have more of the privilege. So something like that. Okay. Yeah, Shaili, hi. Okay. Now let's get into that. So now, the first thing that understanding a different level of SS, in that case, the first one that comes to our mind is SS control levels. What is this? Yes, so SS control levels. That is the first thing that will be discussed over here. Now, in SS control models, what will be the thing? Now, in SS control model, the first model that we will be discussing about is role based. So role-based model. So in case of role-based model, obviously you will be defining the level of access based upon the role of the user. Okay. Now, if I take an example of hospitals, in hospitals you will have people and having different roles. Okay, that's a black circle. Yeah, I know many. That's a black circle. Okay. Yeah. So you will have different users. Now, in that case, you will have patients. Obviously, you will have doctors, you will have nurses, and you will have some like high level officials. Okay, So each one of them will have different level of SS. So now defining the level of SS based upon a role in an organization, that's what I call it as role-based model. Okay. So first thing, your user will be assigned a role. Okay. So users will have uh, assigned roles, and based upon that roles, you will have level of SS. Okay, that's what we mean by role-based SS model. So each user will have a certain role getting assigned to it, and based upon that role that has been assigned, he or she will be given a certain level of SS in that case. Okay. The answer of my question about missing day four due to no problem. If you missed one day, that's not a problem, Kushi. Okay. One day of attendance, if there's just one day of absence, you do not need to worry. It's manageable. Okay. Okay, so this is my role based. If I get into the example, so what examples can I take? Now, one more thing, remember whatever role we are defining, every role has a predefined permission. Okay, so every role has a predefined permission. So if I get into example, let's take the same example. I have three roles. One is my customer or patient, not patients. Okay, that is the first role. Another role is my doctors. Okay, and another role is my let's take nurse. Okay, we have these three roles. Suppose we have many, but I'm taking three examples. So in case of customer, what should be permission given to the customer? He can only view data. Okay, he can only view data. That's like he can only view data such as reports and other things related to only himself. Okay, so I will also add one more condition that related to only himself or herself, whatever gender might be. Okay, so a customer would only be able to view data of himself or herself. Now, what about doctors? So doctors would be able to view and edit. Okay, would be able to view and edit all data. That means, irrespective of the patient, the doctor will be able to view and edit data of all possible condition. Now, obviously, in hospital scenarios and all, the doctor does not have all data of patients, but the data like the patients who are under him. Okay, so but I'm not taking that condition in consideration right now, so we can go forward with this. And nurses will also have uh, property like they can only view data of all patients. Okay. Now over here, what we are talking about is three level of SS and different responsibilities that has been given to all three levels. Now, whoever signs up on the platform, they will be distributed between all these possible three levels or else all these possible three roles. Only three possible roles. It's a rigid. Okay. You cannot form any different role out of it. If I have defined only three roles, we can stick with three roles only, nothing out of this box. Okay. So that's my first property. First model, that is role based. After this, the next one that comes into my mind would be attribute based. Okay, this might not be covered or is with a different name has been covered. So attribute based access control. That's the second one. So what happens in this case? Attribute based access control. Okay. I could edit session, but I listened later due to that I missed. Would that be any problem? No, if you are missing only one day of attendance, it's not a problem, guys. Okay. SS is granted on user attribute. Okay. Resource attribute and context. Okay. So you get a kind of SS based upon the attribute of the user, resource attribute, and context. Like a more flexible way of your role based SS control. Okay. More flexible. Flexible or dynamic, whatever you want to name it as, more dynamic than role-based SS control RBAC. Okay. So the all the SS has been like will be given on the basis of user attribute and other things. Okay. Now let's suppose we can take an example of an organization where we have different departments or something like that. Okay. So in this case, what happens is we have HR department, right? In HR department, all the data to the HR will be assessed only before 6 p.m. Let's suppose we have HR department, and in HR department, uh, they have access to all data, but only before 6 p.m. Okay. Once the office hour gets completed, in that case, there should not be any SS given to them. Okay. So a little bit down the page, I missed taking notes. The nurse, yeah, just take it up. Okay. So now in this case, we have different more attributes that we are taking into consideration. First one, we have to check for the department. If it's HR department, they will have access to many of the data. Then second one is we are also considering the office hour timing too. Okay. So different attributes are taken into consideration for this case. Okay, fine. Now the last one that comes over here is very important, policy based. And now policy based is why is it important? Because policy based is policy based is actually used in many cloud platforms. So let's take an example of AWS. Over there, you have some read write permissions and other things. So attendance taken, no, attendance has not been taken. So in that case, you go forward with policy based. Now, in this case, how does things function? So in policy based, we have SS rules. SS rules are defined as policies. So what are policies? Policies are a kind of rules. Policies are a kind of rules. Okay. In cloud platforms like AWS, Azure, which assess control, yeah, in cloud platforms like this, we go forward with policy based. What happens in the cloud platforms is let's suppose I am taking an example of AWS. Okay. I have an AWS S3 bucket. Let's go with AWS S3 bucket. Now, what you want to do is you want to assess this S3 bucket. So to assess this S3 bucket, I need to create a IAM role. Okay. If you know about this, I need to create a IAM role. Okay. We call it as IAM role. And each IAM role has a certain policy. Okay. Each IAM role has a certain policy of SS. So in if it lies between that policy of SS, in that case, I will be able to assess. Now, I'm taking an example of S3 bucket. So to assess a S3 bucket, so to actually assess this S3 bucket by using this IAM rule, what should I exactly be having? I should have a policy of read SS, okay, to actually read the data, and a policy of write SS to actually write a new data in this case. Okay. So policy based is most like famously used in case of cloud platforms. If you want to get more into this, you can explore more of it. It's a kind of more complex part. Okay. So every time you create a service on AWS, you have to create an IAM role along with that. Without a role, you cannot actually perform any task. Let's take an example of RDBMS also. If you have an RDBMS on AWS case, over there also, if you are trying to assess that RDBMS, you should be associated with an IAM role that should has a policy to assess, like read assess and write assess to that RDBMS. Okay, so we make policies on cloud platforms, and according to the policies, we assess data over that platform. So policy based is commonly used over there. So now, yeah. So what's the next thing? So it is most common in enterprise platforms. Okay, and cloud service. Okay, fine. So if you want to take an example, let me bring one policy permission that I have is from AWS IAM role policy. So let me bring it up, and we can see that example right here. So I will explain you how we write the policy, but obviously that differs from platform to platform too. Okay, so suppose this is my policy. It's obviously in a JSON format. Okay, now it's fine. So in this case, first thing, the version that has a date and when it was created, and in a statement, effect. So effect is if it should be allowed or if it should be declined. And action is S3 list bucket. List bucket is a name of one S3 bucket, and resource is this one. So we should allow whatever action we want to take on list bucket, something like that. It's just an example, okay? So if you want to also restrict that up, we have an options, but I will not get much into that. I just wanted to give you one example of how we exactly do this up, okay? So we create policy for each case that we want to do. Even if we want to update some data to my S3 bucket, I need to have a policy of updation, okay? Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. Okay, Farheen, fine. Fine, sorry. Okay. I did not like actually got this. Okay. I'm sorry for that. Okay, fine. It's clear. Actually, when I get completed certificates, after you submit assignment, I will share assignment with you once you are able to do that. And in that case, you will be getting the certificate. Okay. Okay. Now, if I discuss about what all permissions can we do or else can we give, so we have actually three permissions in terms of resources. Okay. Can you spell attribute based SS once again? See, attribute-based SS. Now, let's see. Attribute-based SS works upon multiple conditions. Okay. So, yeah, Vijay, no problem. So, what are multiple conditions am I taking into consideration over here is, so I took an example of HR department. Okay. So, first thing is a person should be from HR department. That's the first attribute. Now, the second attribute is timing when it is being assessed. Okay, so the timing should be like before 6 p.m. That's before closing of your offices. So we are considering two things. One is timing, another one is which department the person is from. We can also consider location too. In this case, it means the person should be in office to assess that data. So that's what we call it as attribute. Attribute is different parameters that we are considering in this case. Okay, guys, is there any doubt till this point? That's a main level of theory that I had to explain you. And if there is any doubts till this point, what is RBAC? RBAC is role-based access control, not red blood, something like that, but it's role-based access control. Okay, if you remove A from RBAC, it becomes RBC, red blood cells. Okay. Yeah, obviously you can use that together. Now, role-based, see, let's take an example again of that hospital case, hospital scenario. First thing, divide all of your employees into roles. Okay. You have customer, sorry, not customer, let's not take any customer. You have doctors, you have nurses, you have MDs, other things. Now, first thing is role-based. You divided everyone on the basis of role. Now, you add a restriction to all the roles that they cannot access any information of the patient outside of the hospital premises. That is, you are also adding a what? You are also restricting them based upon location. Okay. Now let's add something more. Something more. Now you also add a restriction that they should not access any data outside of their given slot. You are adding one more restrictions. Okay. So that's how you kind of make your role based into attribute based. Okay. Fine, guys. Is there anything else that you want to ask? Attendance link. Ah, that's the only thing that you want to ask, right? Don't you have any other thing to ask related to the topic other than attendance link? Okay, let me bring in a small code. Let me bring in a small code. And it is, I'm not actually going to write it from the scratch, but I will explain to you. Okay, so let me make a one more file, role.js. Accidental poet. Did you wrote anything good, accidental poet, worth reading? Because as per your name suggests, you are writing something. Okay, assign role. Fine. So now what is this? So we are doing a login and we are assigning a different role to my users. That's the first thing that we are seeing right now. So my user comes in according to the username that I have. So I have three types of username, either guest, admin, or normal user. So based upon that, I am assigning a role to that particular username. Okay, admin can access all things sites. Yeah, it depends upon applications. Okay, admin is normally allowed to access everything, but if your application restricts some of the features, then obviously it will be restricted. Okay. Yeah. So we are assigning roles to different usernames in this case. And yeah, according to that also, we are assigning different SS tokens and refresh tokens. Okay. So that's what is happening. Now, this is nothing. This is a normal thing, nothing new. What main thing is partially rendering or else conditional rendering part. Okay. So it's like you are actually you are actually doing a get operation partially, or else if you have only admin ss. Okay, if you have your admin ss, in that case I will be sending this response to you. If you have a user ss, in that case I will be sending different response to you. So see, all the roles that you have defined, they are defined in the backend, and for each roles what all things can be ss is also defined in the backend. So it's a kind of manual work that you do when you define the backend services. Okay, so what all pages can your guest access? That is a certain one thing. What all pages or what all front end pages and services can your user access? That is another work that you have to define. What all pages and services can your admin access? That's again another thing that you have to define. So each level that you create should be defined strictly. Okay, you have to define what all things can they have and what all things can they not have. Okay, that's what my authorization part comes in. Okay, so that, like, if you want to get more into authorization, you have to kind of build an application that actually deals with it. Okay, actually deals with it, in which we have two separate kind of services for two separate kind of users. Okay, clear? Now we are writing code for policy based. I will know it's not a code on policy, it's just an example of how things work. Okay, fine, guys. Is it clear? Okay, I will not go much further deep into this. That's what I wanted to give kind of intro to you in this case. If you want to have a role-based routers and other things, I can also add that too. Okay, so I will add it as an example. Obviously, you do not need to kind of implement this part, but you can have this as a like reference. Okay, so let me add this up. So role.js. Okay, now I have this thing. Yeah, so I can remove the first one. So you have three levels and you are defining three different responses for three levels. Okay. So in each cases, wherever you have number of levels of SS, you have to define all the responses that should be going backward. Okay. As a response. So that's how we do in this case. Okay. So I'm making one project on doctor appointment system. This will help. Yes, this will help. Authorization is very important in doctor appointment system. Why? Because doctors should have different level of SS, patient should have different level of SS, and admin will have different level of SS. So three rigid kind of SS you have to define in this case. So whenever you do a authentication part, not authorization, authentication part, just understand if your customer is user, if your customer is doctor, if your customer is an admin. You have to categorize them in three different parts. Depending upon the level of SS that they have, you have to provide them data, or else you have to provide them service. Okay, fine, guys. Is there anything that's stuck in your mind that you want to ask? It's 7:31. Just wait for 2 3 minutes. I will share the attendance. Yeah, many you can chat outside of this chat box. Okay, no need to kindly chat over here. What is the main point? Use role based instead of assigning permissions directly. What is main advantage? See, suppose you have 1,000 employees in your company. Okay. Now, would you sit down and assign role to all those? Sorry, assign permissions to all those 1,000 employees? No, right? So the best way is define roles, give them permissions, and now categorize all 1000 employees into these three, four roles. So your job becomes easier because everyone knows you want to have your life easier, much more easier. Okay. So you want to work efficiently and you want to make your life easier. So for that case, you should have a role based, not normally giving manual permissions. Okay. Yeah. Fine, Farheen. Fine, Farheen. Okay. I hope so. I'm differentiating between both of this. Sita, just wait a minute. Guys, you got suddenly active when you listened about attendance. Okay. What if I tell you that I will share attendance after 7:45? What will be your reaction then? Guys, is there any doubts other than attendance? I do not want to listen about attendance. I will share it when I find it most optimal. This is last day, so let me do. So for the guest dashboard, any role can view or get respond. See, for the guest dashboard, on that case, you should restrict many of the services. Okay, if you are a guest and if you go on any platform, on that case, you can see a very restricted level of service that you get. So for that case, you have to define something, but a very little. Okay, decide where then few members will come in 7:45. I don't care about that. Let them come at 7:45. I will share attendance whenever I think it's my most best. Some people came for just an early quiet. See, Abhijit, in college I can understand, okay? In college, everyone does that. Everyone wants only attendance, but it's not like you do not attend lectures. You attend lectures, then you get attendance. Because from where do you get these all like very creative names, Gauri? Like half your name, then Roman numbers and something like that. Like, are you trying to add your date of birth or something? 2 minutes is very less time. I cannot be much more cruel than this. Okay, I don't want to be cruel, so yeah, I will share attendance, but not just for 2 minutes. At least 10 minutes will be given. अरे बता रहा हूँ assignment बता रहा हूँ. Wait, Laksh. I am here. Why are you worrying about things when I am here? After the session, you can take all tensions, but till you are sitting in the session, do not take any tension. Okay, the attendance has been pinned on the top. You can take the attendance. Until then, let me do something. Let me tell you something. What is that? Something I want to tell you. Yeah, it's about the course. Some of you were interested in taking courses with me, so I will explain you a full stack course that I take. Okay, it starts at the beginning of each month. So yeah, it's customary for me to explain that part, and I will explain that till you mark your attendance, and it will be best for you and me too. Okay, I hope so. It's visible to you. So share assignment. Yes, I will share assignment. Habib Anwar. I will share assignment. Habibi. Yeah. Okay. So what is this? This is our full stack development course that I have been taking for many months at DevTown. So there were someone who, like, some of the students who were actually interested in taking it with me. So yeah, I will be mentoring this course. So whoever is interested, they can join in. So what are topics are we going to cover in this case is a 3 months course over there. We will be taking all web development fundamentals, HTML, CSS, JavaScript for the front end normal parts, and we will then move forward. Like everything that comes under CSS, everything will be discussed. Then we'll move forward with my Git and GitHub also. Version control is very important. I have to explain that too. Okay. So once that is done, we'll move forward with the some of the backend part where we will explain Node.js and other things. Then again back to front end with the React and other things, like not other, but only React. Okay, React along with Tailwind. Then backend will be done first with Node. Then DevOps, kind of small test to DevOps where we will understand like deployment other parts, and some of the projects also will be taken into consideration. Okay, so every month, first day of the month, we start a new batch. So if anyone is interested, they can mark that up, and yeah, you can come on board. Obviously, it is paid. So if you want to know more about that, you can just get in touch of contact team. They will explain you much more better than me because I am not a sales expert. I am actually an educator, so I can teach you but I do the sales work better. Okay. So yeah, you can get in touch with them. So that's the first part. Now, second part, assignment. I will tell you, this is not assignment. Okay. Yeah. So second part is after every bootcamp, we organize a booster session. So whoever has a genuine doubt, they can sign up for the booster sessions. Okay. Now remember, the booster session is paid. Okay. That's not much, a very less payment, less than 100 or something, not greater than 100. So it's paid. And if you have any genuine doubt, okay, if you have any doubts, you can attend that. Again, that will be personalized session that I will take on Zoom meetings. So yeah, you can come over there, and if you have any genuine doubts, if you want to talk to me regarding any other things, then too you can come over there and we can discuss that out. Okay. So that's a booster session thing. And now last assignment. What assignment do we have? See, guys, I'm explaining the assignment after 7:45. I'm not going to explain assignment again. So listen carefully. So the assignment is the first case was hash code for authentication. Okay, that's the first thing. Then, like, wait a minute, that will create confusion. Okay, Node.js code to implement hash for authentication. Okay, hash for authentication. That is the first thing. Now, the second code will be Node.js code to implement JWT along with hashing in authentication. That's the second thing. Finally, the attendance is there from past 2 minutes. Send assignment. Yeah, see, I will share the notes over there. You will have assignment. I will also create a Word document, so you will get that too. Okay. So these are two things, and the last thing. Just take one real life case scenario on all SS levels. Okay, just one real life case scenarios on all SS levels. Just three things. Combine them up. Push everything to GitHub. Push everything to not thong but thing to GitHub and submission deadline. So from here to today, so today is 19, 20, 21. So you can submit it by 21 midnight. That's the deadline. Okay, NIGST. Why do I make so much spelling mistakes? Yeah, so the deadline is 21st midnight. That's when you have to submit. How to submit? You will get a doc, like what do you call it? Google Forms. Okay, you will get a Google form. Over there, you have to just submit your GitHub link. Okay, combine everything in one, push everything to the GitHub, and you can just submit the GitHub link on a Google form that you will be receiving on. Okay, also send you a GitHub link. What will you do with my GitHub link? There is nothing in my GitHub. My GitHub is like desert, not the sweet desert, but Registan. Okay, guys, is it clear? How to submit the attendance? How to submit the attendance? Oh, Habib, this is the fifth day. You know, Habib, the Habib fighter. Okay, this is the fifth day. Just you click on the Google form that has been attached, and yeah, सुजीत बिना असाइनमेंट सबमिट करे सर्टिफिकेट नहीं मिलेगा क्या? नहीं, लक्ष्य नहीं मिलेगा. अभिजीत से क्यों पूछ रहा हूँ? मेरे से भी पूछ लो. मैं भी बता दूंगा. What project? What project are you using AI? Great, Kushi. If it is clear, great. In every case scenario I see, there is someone who asks for again explain the assignment. It's very simple. Okay. First part is you have to write hashing algorithm, okay, hashing code in Node.js. That's the first part. Second part is implement JWT with hashing. See, you should have both of them separate, not in a single file, separate file, create two different files. Third one is take one real life application, real life case scenario for each SS level that we have discussed. Okay. Not three assignments, just a single assignment, very short assignment. Okay. It's not a very long assignment that you would consider three. Please send not Umaru Justin Roger. What do you mean by please send not? Acha, notes. Okay, notes. You want notes? Yeah, mark your attendance. I will share the notes in the chat directly. Okay, or else you will get it from community. Okay, wherever you would have registered, you will be getting over there. Ajit, you will get to know from the operation teams. Okay, I'm here to teach, so that's what I know. Bhargav, you can read it now. Bhargav, do not test my patience, guys. I have very like good level of patience, but again, do not test it out. You can see it written on the screen, so please read it. Send the sample assignment. There is no sample assignment. I don't have GitHub account. You don't have GitHub account? Fine, create a GitHub account. What are you doing right now? If you do not have an Instagram account, then I would be fine. But if you do not have a GitHub account, I'm not fine with that. Okay, literally create a GitHub account. You can forget creating Instagram account and Snapchat, but just remember creating a GitHub account. Just today, go forward, install Git, create GitHub account, work on that. No need to deploy this up. Okay, there is no need of deployment. Wherever the community is made, you will be getting a submission link. Okay, wherever the community has been made. That's not my part of work, so I do not have much knowledge of that. It's also written in the DevTown link that we will get them after submission of the project. There was a yes, yes. If they have written, they will be obviously be giving, but after submission of the project. Okay, guys, whoever does not has any GitHub account, please create it now. Okay, what are you doing in tech field without a GitHub account? It's like, what example can I give? I'm not getting a good example right now, but try to understand me. You should have a GitHub account in this case. Okay, contact me with the same. Abhijit, what significant thing are you looking into it? Okay, the assignment is not that big. Stop acting like a typical college student. I know college student, like you are college student, but do not do this. Okay, why do you want to do this assignment together? So the project assignments are the same. This is the assignment and project that I'm talking about. There's nothing else. We haven't done much of the practical part, so that's why I do not have like we do not have much assignment. Okay, but I want but publication I use only 95. Okay, no need to go over publication. What do you publish? Yeah, for production, all you no need to deploy it up. Okay, go to Kaggle. You can get some data set over there. Other than that, also you have to work upon this. Okay, the Kaggle would be the best option that you can get. Yeah, no need to share your GitHub account. Okay, I know if you have, then great. But whoever does not has, okay, Farheen, not fine. Farheen, make your GitHub account today itself. That's kind of compulsory thing. Okay, guys, is there any doubts till this point? Okay, it's your choice. But what will you deploy? It's not a complete backend service. To what will you deploy? Yeah, guys, and also if possible, if you get feedback form, please add feedback about like regarding the lectures, how it went on, and was there any area of improvement that you want from my side or any other side. So yeah, feel free to add whatever feedback you want. Okay, so because we need the feedbacks to add on more improvement to the sessions that we are taking. Okay, yeah, Mario, I think so. You forget to contact how to contact you. You can contact me on LinkedIn. Just search my name. Just do some hard work. You will get my LinkedIn account. How to submit account? Abhijit, I will come to your home and I will bring a briefcase over there. I will take your laptop in that briefcase and then I will test it out and then I will give you back. You will get a Google form to submit your assignment and over there you have to submit. Attendance link has been posted. Are you asking or are you telling me? Shobha, are you Shobha Waknis? Oh, I'm sorry if I pronounce your title wrong, but are you asking or link is okay? You are telling. Okay. No, Thakur, Thakkar, whatever your name is, I will not get again back into explain this. I explained it two times. Already connect with your LinkedIn. Great. What's your name? What's the real name, Games? Right. Guys, I have many requests in pending, so if I get time one day, I will accept all. But you can send it. Do not think that I will not accept at the end, but it might take time. It might take two, three, four, five, even 1 week, but I will at the end accept everyone's. No, there is no naming convention that you need to follow. If there will be, you will be explained in a community. Yes, Ravi Chandran, please create your GitHub account. I told you, even if you do not have Instagram account or Snapchat, it's great and well, but you should have a GitHub account if you are working in a tech field, if you are studying in a tech field also. No problem. I'm not that curious about your name, Monit. Okay. I think so. I accepted your connection request, right? I wanted to know because I want to see if I accepted the connection request or not. Because I also get some useless connection request, so I have to ignore that too. How to create a GitHub account? Complex than creating an Instagram account, but worth creating it. So you can go and look into some tutorials. No, my name is not Ashish Modi. Fine, guys. I think so. I should take my leave now. I'm getting some useless and some very like what I can say. Watch and code. He is good guy. You can watch and code too. My name, you know my name. That's what I have in my LinkedIn. My full name. I hope so. You can get my full name from the cover of this live, like the thumbnail. Yeah, great games, right? Yeah, send me connection request. I told you it might take time, but I will accept. Okay. Tell about you something, Dikshita. Yeah, Dikshita, there's nothing else, like nothing much to know about me. A very boring, simple guy. I do not have anything interesting right now in myself. So, what exactly do you want to know about me? Yeah, Code Bytes, Audio Byte. It's great. You had attended the session. Okay. Okay, fine, guys. I think so. It's time and we can close it now. Because if we sit down and chat, we will like go forward with 1 hour. And okay. What happened if SS control is too okay, Fareem? What happens if SS control is too strict or too loose? How do companies find the right balance? How do companies find the right balance? SS control cannot be too strict. SS control cannot be too loose. It's just optimal as per you define in the policies. If you like decided that these all pages should only be given to this user, then that pages will only be given. It's nothing loose. It's nothing strict. So can you call me so I can send my name? You can search it up on post on this DevTown channel. Guys, do some homework, okay? If you want to get connected with me on LinkedIn, just search my name. Fine, guys. I have to go now. Let's end this up. And thank you for joining, guys. It has been an amazing 5 days of this week from Monday till Friday. And yeah, hope so we'll meet again on any other boot camp. Yeah, thank you, Ragini. Thank you, everyone. Uh, no, my name is not Ashish Modi. My name is not Ashish Modi. You can search for it later. As like, what do you want? Do you want me to give everything to you? Can't you do some work on your own? Do some homework on your own, guys. Let's go to live. We went to live, and what's written on this cover? Can't like just try looking on the cover thumbnail. What's written? You will find my name. Yeah, great. Okay, fine, guys. Let's end it here. And thank you for joining. Bye bye, sir. We post our experience in LinkedIn regarding say, yes, you have to post. Yeah, guys, fine. Yeah, thank you for joining. Bye bye. Thank you. We'll meet again in any other bootcamp of any other 5 days. So, yeah, bye. Thank you. Yes, you can. And bye. Good night.